Hi, Yomi Lover here. So I just got out of watching the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. All I gotta say is, it's good. It's really good. A lot of people were comparing it to Inglorious Bastards. That's made up. This actually happened, so I'm not even gonna compare the two. There's a lot of Nazis be dying in this movie, which is, always fun. Let's see. Their mission in this movie is really simple. Basically disarm and nullify the German U-boats in the Atlantic. And instead of destroying the boats, they basically steal them. That's all that happens. That's pretty much the whole movie. There's a lot of espionage in this movie. It's pretty well acted. I'm gonna say that Henry Cavill was fantastic in this movie. As I'm speaking, a lot of people have heard news that Henry Cavill and Natalie Viscuso are welcoming their first child into the world. And to that I say, congratulations, and we're all happy for you. I myself am very happy for them. And I wish them well, and I think that they're going to be fantastic parents. Other than that, there's a lot of people that were saying Henry Cavill was a bad actor. All because he starred in Argylle. Okay, now I defend Argylle only because I think that it had potential as a novel. The novel is great. I'm still reading it, and I'm almost to the end. I am about 35 chapters in, and I'm almost at the very end. So, I mean, if they had just made Argylle the novel and adapted it, if they had just adapted Argylle the novel and not made a movie about someone else that isn't Argylle, then I guess it would have been fantastic. Plus, a lot of scenes were debunked by a lot of people that I know, and they just said that those scenes were unrealistic, and, you know, that just pulled them out of the movie completely. You're not going to find that here with the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. It's all based off of real events, except for Henry Golding's character. Henry Golding's character was completely made up. But, I gotta say, Alan Richardson looks like he's having fun in it. Really, and I think Henry was having a lot more fun in this movie than he did Argylle. In Argylle, he looks like he's depressed. Kind of. Like, I could tell he's dying inside in that movie, but, I mean, this movie was pretty good. It's just a fun romp, and, you know, killing Nazis is always fun, like I said. Other than that, I didn't see a lot of, how can I say this, negativity towards this movie. A lot of people just said, okay, it's based off real events, except for Henry Golding's character, and that's it. That's all it's about. And Winston Churchill was a great figure in this espionage mission. I mean, the character of Gus March Phillips is a very interesting character. A lot of people have said that Ian Fleming's James Bond is based off Gus March Phillips. And Henry has gone on record to say that Gus March Phillips could have beaten Ian Fleming to the punch if he had lived past the war, which, unfortunately, Gus March Phillips did not live. But him and Marjorie ended up marrying, which is pretty nice. At least he got to experience marriage before he died, you know, last minutes on this earth spent well. And, how can I say this? I would recommend this film to anybody. Oh yeah, the character of Marjorie is not made up, so a lot of people out there are saying, a lot of people don't understand why they hate women characters, okay? Now, a lot of people have gone on record saying, we don't hate women, we just hate badly written women. And when it's unrealistic, we're gonna basically slam it, tear it apart, and call it what it is. It's a load of bullhooey and it's woke and all this other bullshit, right? They'll say that, okay? Marjorie is not made up. And she actually did this stuff because she worked as a spy. So, when you're doing things like trying to seduce Nazi officers like this, you're gonna be... you're going to have your wits about you, and you're not going to let up or let them know who you are. And it was very interesting is that Marjorie's character... well, not character. The real Marjorie, when she was alive in real life, was half Jew. So, you know, German Jewish descent. So doing this stuff, doing these missions, was just dangerous for her altogether. You know, if she gets caught, she's dead. And I think the character was really well played by the actress who played her. And, you know, I just want to say that this movie was well acted. The whole cast and crew was fantastic. I would say, don't bring your kids to this movie. Anybody who's out there who probably has somebody who they know, probably a dad or maybe somebody from the military, somebody who is probably, like if your dad's in the military or your uncle's in the military or you have family in the military, I'd say bring them to this movie. Go ahead, do that, because, you know, they're gonna like something that's closer to real life than just made up Hollywood conjecture, you know what I mean? And, you know, a lot of espionage missions don't get paid attention to, and if there are more, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the book that this is based off of is, you know, well written, and the person who did his research did it well, and, well, it's just a fun time. Like, what can I say? This movie was good. It doesn't have to be blow me out of the water a spectacle, but there were some really good scenes, like the beginning scenes where they charged the camp just to save their friend was fantastic. I love that. I love those scenes. They just mull down all these Nazis and save their friend, which is, you know, remarkable considering most missions don't go that way. You know, if the guy's caught, he's dead. He's a dead man, you know what I mean? But, they didn't. They, went to go save their buddy because they needed him for the mission. And, the mission is all that matters. Alright, well, that's all I wanted to say about the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Henry Cavill's fantastic in it, and no, he's not a bad actor. To all those people, apologize now. And, you know, just, I wish him well. I really think he's gonna be a great father. And, you know, maybe the next movie he does, I don't know how Warhammer's going. I didn't check into Warhammer right now. A lot of people say there's a battle for Warhammer right now going on. The fans are fighting the producers of it, and a few 4chan, scripts, a few 4chan messages got leaked about it. Somebody on the inside is talking shit about it, and, they're saying it's not good. But, I don't know. Like, recently I watched, Amazon's Fallout, and I never played the games. Okay, I am a gamer, though. I would like to say that. I've announced it on my Twitter that I am a epic gamer. Okay, you can take that to the bank. Honestly, I don't think they're going to fuck it up because their video game adaptations are a lot better than their novel adaptations. Like, Rings of Power was god-awful. Most of the fantasy fans tore that apart. People that are fans of high fantasy tore that show apart. And with good reason. Because most of the characters that are depicted the way Tolkien described them are not depicted in that show the way that Tolkien wanted them to be. And a lot of people said, hey, you should have brought the Tolkien expert back. Okay, who cares if he's an old man? Who cares if his points are being, you know... It was just, how can I say this? A bunch of asshole writers decided that they want to get rid of the brains of the Tolkien lore, which was the lore expert, because they want to be creative and deviate away from what Tolkien had in mind. And, that pissed off a lot of fans, because this isn't a show where, how can I say this? You don't deviate from Tolkien's lore, you do it exactly the way Tolkien imagined it. And if you can't do it that way, like, Peter Jackson knew this. He knew that the story is better with just how the original author envisioned it. And there's a lot of things like, you know, Balrogs not having wings and all that stuff. People will say, yeah, you know, that Tolkien envisioned it that way, and Peter Jackson just gave him wings, which, you know, makes no sense because, like, if he fell off the bridge, he can just fly back up, right? So it makes no sense to give the Balrog wings. Things like that. Little things like that, yeah, we'll forgive it because, you know, unlike the writers of The Rings of Power, Peter Jackson knows how to entertain, and he's at least a nerd, so he loves what he's making, unlike the people that were writing for that show. But Fallout is fantastic. I feel like the writers of that show loved what they were doing because they know more about video games than they know more about literature. Let's be honest. So I think if they're doing an adaptation of Warhammer 40k, a video game adaptation, and it's not based off any of the books of Warhammer 40k, the books are expansive in this. I have one of the books by about Nagash, which is basically a very interesting character. It's just, you gotta get into the lore to know about this stuff. And I have a few family members that actually build models of the Warhammer 40k figures. They have little armies that they're building up to play tabletop. And it's just, I'm not like, oh yeah, by the way, I don't like the fact that, personally, I don't like the fact that Jimmy Kimmel kept on asking Henry all these normie questions about Warhammer 40k, like his audience are brain-dead morons. He kept on, I know he's simplifying it for people that don't play the game, okay, he doesn't treat his audience like they're stupid, but no offense, but when he brought in a bunch of people to basically say what an eclipse is, and these people don't know what an eclipse is straight off the bat, I'm gonna be like, dude, did you handpick these people off the street, or did you do this on purpose? Because these people don't know what astronomical events are. I'm just like, well, some of the first things that they teach you in grade school are about the universe and expansive galaxies. How do you not know this stuff? A basic event where the moon moves right in front of the sun every 100 years. Like, what the... Are you kidding me? I'm just like, dude, I don't watch Jimmy Kimmel's show. I don't watch it, okay? I don't hate the guy, but I don't watch his show. I think it's bad, okay? But I personally think Jimmy Fallon's a lot better. Just gonna say it straight up. But, Henry seemed to enjoy himself on the show, so I'm not going to, say, oh, don't go on his show again because I don't like it. No, it's just like, dude, he's buddies with him. It's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be like, you can't be buddies with Jimmy Kimmel because his show is kind of garbage? No, I'm not gonna be like that. But I personally don't like his show. I think if he wants to be funnier, maybe get some new material. I don't know, your ghostwriters that you have in the back room of your sweatshop, you can get them to start writing some actual good material, and maybe the show will actually bring in more audiences and everything. But that's all I gotta say about it. But this movie, I kind of went on a rant here. This movie was actually good. If you're watching it with a friend, it's a good time. And that's all I gotta say about it. Alright, peace.